Man, been an up and down year for the Los Angeles Lakers. We came into the offseason, the narrative was Battle of LA. But even before that, I mean, after that, it was Lakers versus Nets. Like that was just like what you had to invest your tickets in and whatnot as well too. One team is kind of holding up that end of the bargain.
Yeah.
The other team has been very, very ebb and flow in a sense as well too. The Lakers are currently eighth in the West right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, AD's been hurt.
Yeah.
You can argue there's been a lot of coaching. You can argue GM. You can argue so much thing as well too. But it seems like it's just that blessing and curse playing with LeBron James. When you
Yeah.
play with him, you get a chance to win the championship. When you play with him, you win. All the glory goes to LeBron. When you don't win, everybody gets that finger pointed to them other than LeBron. And right now, obviously Russell Westbrook's been in the market in OKC. He's been in the nation's capital. He's been in Houston as well too. But this is the first time being in one of the most historic franchises in the whole world, in the United States at least, with the Lakers brand, that we're kind of seeing him on display as well too. And I don't know if it's because he's not having the ball in his hand as much. He wants it so badly. He's finally playing on a team where he's not the number one option. What do you think is going on, man? Like he's getting so much, hate in the media as well too. And this is the guy who has all-time record of triple doubles, who's been a former MVP, who's every year he's played, I believe, except for I think his rookie year, has made the playoffs every single year. What do you think is going on? Because his last 10 games, I mean, he's putting up 16, 9, and 8. We're used to seeing him average around 22 to 25 points per game. And he's also shooting only 38% from the field when his game is built in the paint. And also he's shooting 21% from three and 69% for the free throw line. Like, what do you think is going on with Russ right now? Do you think he deserves this slander? And what are your thoughts on the Lakers in general, man?
So to answer your first question, when you play for a storied franchise like the Lakers, they want to win every year. Their fan base, they want to win every year. And sometimes the criticism may be fair and it may not be fair, right? So for Russ, I think the most concerning thing is he not finishing at an efficient level that he typically has finished in his career. The missing layups, the attention to detail on the defensive end. I think the issues are bigger than the Lakers. I mean, bigger than Russell Westbrook, right there. There's a lot of personnel issue. They don't really have athletic wings to guard other teams' top, playmakers and top scorers. Anthony Davis has missed a considerable amount of games this far in the season. Again, they don't really have the size. LeBron is playing a five. Like, so if he's playing a five and he's also the best offensive player on that team. So he's exhausting himself like on both ends of the court. So I think what the Lakers have to do, they have to make some trades. Jeremiah Grant is a player that people have been talking about. Eric Gordon, a very reliable 3-and-D type of player who can stretch the floor. And in terms of Russ, I think Russ, when you're playing for your hometown, your home city, all your boys at the game, all your homies like, yo, my boy playing for the Lakers, and you not performing like how you feel like you can perform at that level. And then social media is ruthless. Social media don't care about your feelings. I think all of that is weighing in on him. And I think he just has to like really just take a step back and be like, man, I'm a top 75 NBA player for a reason, man. I am great. Just kind of reminding yourself how great you are and stop trying to think the game too much and just play and go out there and play. I feel like all the noise has gotten into his ear where you can see he's thinking, and Russ has always been that player just to react, just to go out there and play. So that's why I recommended for Vogel and the staff to come up with creative ways that can get Russ into his rhythm, whether that's playing off ball, right? Coming off of down screens and attacking the basket and making the simple pass. When that happens and when the Lakers get Anthony Davis back and they have to make trades before the trade deadline and see where they're at post the trade deadline, I think, they could be a better team if they want to win the NBA championship. Anthony Davis is going to have to come back, and he's going to have to come back on some dominating shit. So there's a lot of ifs in those statements. Whenever you have 4 or 5 ifs, you're probably not going to win the championship, but we'll see. This is the NBA, anything can happen. You just hope that, no one gets hurt. You hope that Anthony Davis come back and plays at a high level. And you hope they figure it out with Russ. You hope he starts making his shots. And again, there's a lot of ifs, but you never know.